So I want to tell you something that happened and how I display being a coach on moments where I'm coaching, and I didn't even realize that I do this, but I do it often. And so, was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday. So yesterday, I was downstairs. I was out here smoking, and I saw somebody pull up. I saw a woman, a middle-aged woman, something about my age, but in her mid-40s, and she pulled up and she was making a delivery, and she had a DoorDash bag, and so anyway, she walked in. And I started. A few minutes later, I started to go in the building, and as I started to go in, she started to come out, and just to spark a conversation, I was like, full time gig worker, hashtag full time gig worker is what I said, and she was like, oh my god, I'm so excited. It seems like it's gonna be so addicting. So she's just getting started, so she doesn't even know. She didn't even know all the headache yet, but she, she was gung ho or whatever. So I was like, oh, you just starting, and she's like, yeah. I said, well, where do you drive? I said, where do you drive? And she's like, well, I live here, so I just go back and forth between here, there, and this or whatever. So I was like, look, I said, you want to go to? I said, go to Boca. I said, trust me, it's worth it. If you get a, I said, don't drive out there because it's gonna cost, it costs gas. I said, but if you get a job that takes you to Boca, take it and stay out there. Stay out there. I said I said they tip better. I said the roads are wider, so there's less traffic and stuff like that. I'm like, go there and hover around downtown Boca. And bless me. Anyway, so and I'm like hover around downtown Boca. I said I make about this much money every night, and I said if you go there, you be good. So she was like, "Oh my God, thank you so much for the advice and whatever, whatever." So whether she took it or not, that's on her. You know what I mean? But the point is that most people would see her as competition. Most people would be like, I don't want to tell her where I make my money because then she gonna be stealing my tickets and I won't make as much money. But I'm a firm believer, man, that there's enough for everybody. There's enough out here for everybody. And if you hustle hard, my thing is that I've always believed in a strong offense. I believe in a strong offense. Like I believe strong offenses win games, and most some people would disagree, but I think that if your offense is strong, man, if you're hustling out there, if your grind is hard and it's strong, then it ain't gonna matter who else is out there. You know what I mean? It's not gonna matter. So but I took that and I realized, I said, man, I just coached her. I just gave her a coaching lesson, some advice on how to grow and how to thrive and stuff like that. And that's something that I do all the time, and I don't even realize it. So I sit here and I doubt myself because I'm like some of these guys out here who went and you paid for someone to teach him how to coach and stuff like that. Like I didn't do that, and I may never do that. I don't think that that's in my like in my realm. You know what I mean? But it it doesn't change the fact of who I am naturally. You know what my God-given talents are and my God-given gifts. You know what I mean? And it's a gift. So anyway, that was just a thought I wanted to share it with you. I'm sure, I'll leave you with this. I'm sure that you display who you are and what you're gifted at on a regular basis, and you don't even stop to realize it. One of the best pieces of advice, or best things I've ever heard, was when Steve Harvey said, Like, your gift is the thing you do the absolute best with the least amount of effort. And if you think about it, like, it's so true. You probably do this 100 times a day and don't even realize that you're doing what it is that can change your life forever, just by doing the thing that you're gifted at. Coaching is my gift. It's what I do. Lifting people and leading people, like, it's what I do. It's what I'm gifted at. And I take it serious. So, and maybe you should too.